You want to start now?
Whatever you.
Okay, all right. Cause see, like, all right. Let's do the Moorish prayer, please, everyone. Islam. I don't know where East is. You know where East is?
I know where the east side is.
East is straight this way.
All right. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Islam. Feet at a 45-degree angle. Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah, my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Through Ali.
Islam. Let me introduce you something already. Because I see you got 3 fingers, I see you got 5. That's key. Because you need to understand the culture.
Yes, absolutely.
All right? Get the heliotex over there.
You got a Bible?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Right there, it's on the shelf. Turn to the book of Revelation.
Oh, yeah.
And a message from John.
Give me scripture.
Yes.
Which one you want to go?
Go ahead, read.
Revelation, but
21? Which one? It's a lot. The whole thing is John.
Excuse my hand. Excuse my elevated art. Go ahead.
What are we reading in John? Your Grace? John, Revelation's what?
Enter.
Huh?
Read the first. Read the first.
You got it. Here we go. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants, must soon take place. He made it known by sending his angel to his servant John, who testifies to everything he saw, that is, the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. Blessed is the one who reads the words of this prophecy, and blessed are those who bear it, who hear it, and take to heart what is written in it, because the time is near.
Go ahead.
Grace and peace to you from him who is, and who was, and who is to come, and from the 7 spirits before his throne, and from Jesus Christ, who is the faithful witness, the firstborn from the dead, and the ruler of the kings of the earth. To him who loves us, has freed us from our sins by his blood, and has made us to be a kingdom and priests to serve his God and Father. To him be glory and power forever and ever. Amen.
it's 6 fingers up there.
The thumb. She talking about the thumb.
It's like 6.
A thumb.
But it's 6 there.
Oh no, the other.
The
No, the
other
other
one.
thumb.
The other
No,
one
where
to
the
the
2
left.
at? Where the 2 at?
2.
See right here.
The one with the 2 has 6. 1, 2. You got
The hand has 6 fingers.
Oh,
No.
I told you, excuse my scribble.
Like, that's the alien hand.
She said that's the alien hand.
5 on the left, 2 on the right.
Right.
Because my niece has 6 fingers.
Right.
And they're all natural too, they're not deformities.
Yeah. So just ignore the thumb sticking out.
Yeah.
It's just 2 up there.
Now, read about the golden candlesticks. The message. Go ahead.
I need my sword.
Now, how many of you know about the Septuaginta? Septuaginta. You don't know Septuaginta?
The first one.
Yeah, Greek
You don't?
translations.
All right.
That's where it's derived from, the Septuaginta.
Right?
Where in Revelation?
The assignment for transliterating out of the Book of the Dead in the ancient literature was by 72 scholars commissioned by the popes. There were 72 scholars. They still maintain the 7, so they'll just say Septuagint. You know, because that's the herb culture. All right. Circle 7 Quran.
You want it?
How many days in a week?
7.
How many days in a circle?
7.
How many days in a year?
7.
All right.
You ready
How
for
many
it?
eyes of Allah?
7.
How many spirits?
7.
All right. But they're one, right?
Yep.
All right. But the monotheistic principle does not actually mean one single. That is the combined energies, right? So when you do the 2 on the right, 5 on the right, 2 on the left, you're dealing with the 7.
5 on the left and 2 on the right.
5 on the left and 2 on the right. Well,
Oh, all right, got you. All right.
so anyway, yeah, fix me. So you need to understand what that symbolizes. All right, that's what that symbolizes. Go ahead, read.
Right there, it's really from 12 to 19, but I'm just going to pick up 19. Right therefore that you have seen what is now and what will take place later, the mystery of the 7 stars that you saw in my right hand.
The 7 stars.
The mystery of the 7 stars that you saw in my right hand, and of the 7 golden lampstands in this. The 7 stars are the angel of the 7 churches, and the 7 lampstands are the 7 churches.
All right. And so when you're symbolizing, when you face east, the rising of the sun of God, you see, you're dealing with the transits of the earth and the sun and the moon and the stars. And there was the forces and the energies of life and life. Also, because all of us not from this particular planet, and because you have, they'll say kings, but you have like lordships or rulers that also people the other planets, and 7 of them mainly in this particular solar system. And I'm just reminding you so that you know the culture. I'm not going to linger on this, but you need to know why you do certain things.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yep.
And also why some people don't tell you what it really means and be telling you other stuff, or saying to you that it's spooky or occultism when it's actually the universe. All right?
Can I add a little bit of something?
And so,
Can I add a little bit of something?
add a little bit of a lot of stuff.
All right, if anyone has ever seen the Divine Constitution, you see he's standing in the middle, all right? And then he's got 5 on the right and 2 on the left. If you look at it, it's 5 on the right and 2 on the left. And then, because it says, it says, all meetings are to be opened, what's it, where am I at? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No, that's not what I'm looking for. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7. All right, so I did a little bit of study. All right, so in the first paragraph, it starts out 7 words. All right, and then when I started to learn this, the 6th act, I did it. I said, let me see if he's doing it with a pattern. So I said, let me write 7 words on each line. And by the time I got down to it, came exactly to 22 lines. So it's 7 words, 22 lines, all right? So Drew Ali was the sheriff. He was the lawman. He's laying down the law. So, and in honor, if he said, if he's not in the head of this movement, then, I think he says, if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. But then in the the thing to be read by all sheiks before, he said, it will not be recognized. This movement will not be recognized unless he is at the head. And so, like I said before, in terms of, well, he done passed form. No, he hasn't. He's in these works. He's alive in these works, you know. And the questionnaire, the 101 questionnaire, and in the Circle 7, or the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam.
Islam.
Now, when he says open and close according to the Circle 7, what is he saying?
The sciences.
What is the science?
The science is your senses.
Well, that's true too. All right. So what is
and the planets.
What occurs when you open Majlis? So Yaraha
Oh yeah, she has
looks at the positions
Yes.
of the planetary energies
Yes. Yes.
and gives a reading according to the Zodiac Constitution. Here's your Zodiac Constitution.
Yes.
What is the Zodiac? It is the belt. And we call it Milky Way, right? And
Yes.
that encompasses the Earth, etc. Right? And you do a reading because, number one, you do certain things
Yeah.
in accord whether or not, or like we're just coming out of retrograde, right?
This evening.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yes.
So you look at those things.
I'm so happy
If
about
we're
that.
doing something today and we're not yet out of retrograde,
Yeah.
we'll do things for prep, but not necessarily solid for today.
Right.
You do it with a projected knowledge
Right.
or projected energy, but also understanding you're dealing with a springboard. And so your thoughts would harmonize with the operations of nature in order to empower your thoughts, right?
Yes.
All right, now, so understanding that, you have a truer understanding of how prayer works in nature, not based on belief. And you would guide yourself accordingly, all right? Therefore, you open and close your meetings according to the Circle 7. That means with a cognizance of how things operate, not a belief on how things operate. And while we're not going through that formally, I just wanted to make you aware of that. Because we could go further in this so that you can understand why the 7
Yes.
and the 7.
Yes.
7 golden candlesticks. See, I heard one speak with a voice of many waters, and he was standing among 7 golden candlesticks. They're talking about Yahshua.
Yeah.
His Ios, which is the sun. And then you already know, right?
On the 7 planets.
Yes. Right? And also you can have this with a knee, right? And this is where you get deity. But what is deity? Planet Mercury.
Mercury.
So the planet Mercury, excuse me, is actually a communication center. For this particular solar system. And so, because it's a communication center for this particular solar system, all major communications for this particular solar system, even from the outside, came through Mercury and then was projected to the other planets. And this is why, collectively, incorrectly, but yet anthropomorphically, all of the 7 lords or the 7 lords of the 7 ruling planets were given loosely the name deity, which is deity, sometimes called Tahuti. You know, they're just simply corruptions of deity or the planet Mercury, a communication center. You know, so this is why when you really understand what's really going on in this particular solar system, you know the truth that there's only one deity or one God, but it's not the concept that people have.
Right.
Now, that's just to explain to you how the priesthood deliberately know better and deceive the public by leaving them in elementary degrees, like little children, instead of telling them the truth. Because the God game that they've been playing, that the priesthood has been playing on the people and fleecing them for their own selfish means, would die overnight. This is another reason why they don't want the people to understand that we're not the only ones here, or that everyone here is not necessarily from this particular aggregate. But it's always been that. It has never not been that, if you get the point.
That's right.
But the real deception, and the point that I'm making to you also, and this is inclusive in our conversation, this has to be in your consciousness to understand the motivations of the political and the clergy operations. You know, their willingness to deceive you, their motive to deceive you. Whether it's moral or not is not what we're arguing. Just identify components. All right? Now, the deal over this, the other deal, the point that I wanted to make, is that when you're aware of certain things, and then you start observing nature around you, it answers itself. And then you're able to start shedding your naivety, or what is called the illusion. And as you shed the illusion, the dark priesthood can no longer fool you. This is where, when Yahshua says, they have eyes and cannot see, they have ears and they cannot hear. But yet, whosoever will, let him come. Whosoever will, let him hear. Which means you have to overcome your naivety, and your free will make you not blind. That's your point of liberation. They don't want you at that point of cognizance. If you understand, they don't want you conscious. And so, when you're looking at a sort of like a mystery devil type thing, they don't ever have to give you a clear answer, because it's always vague, but it's for sure though.
It's the devil.
He's going to surely take your sandwiches. If you don't give me $5, right? You know, type thing. And if they get you when you're a child,
Yeah.
you know, you fall into fear, guilt, superstition,
Yeah.
and they got a
Yeah.
a permanent source of revenue. You know, and all they need to do is, you know, put a cap on the straw that they got in your neck. Whenever you come around, take the cap on the straw, suck them, put the cap back on and go to the next one. And this is what the priesthood has been doing to humanity. And because they always say God, Jesus, Allah, Moses, Muhammad, the people don't suspect them. They're always looking, the devil. You don't see him, but I know he's behind the curtain somewhere.
He's behind the pole.
And it's worked for them quite well. You know, they're quite wealthy. You know, and the women, because the matriarchal principle on the planet, the women mainly controlled the estates, which is why the priesthood would always accuse them of being witches, murder them, make them admit to evil, and then they would split the estate between the church and the priesthood. This is where the church got all its finance from. That's why the church owns, about 80% of everything on the planet, for murdering women and stealing their estates. And so women, you know, in fear, have kind of suppressed that knowledge and keep delivering their children to the priesthood. And they're looking for something good to come out of this. And it can't happen, and it won't happen. But they don't suspect the priesthood. They're looking at this mystery devil that never shows up. Do you understand what I'm saying? But he's always stealing your stuff. But you notice that Reverend's the one riding your bike that you lost last week. You know, the Reverend, the one got the house that came down from your grandmother that your grandchildren should have, and they out there trying to have a McDonald's job to rent, and they should have an estate. Because grandma gave it to the church. They didn't give it to the church, they gave it to Rev. No, I'm just
That's right, that's right.
It's how it works for generations.
Yeah, it's on.
So, persons who are part of that network do not want this. That's why they don't like Drew Ali.
Yeah.
You hear them talk about all so-called black leaders. When it comes to Drew Ali, everybody gets persimmon lips. They do. But you need to understand not what you're up against, what's against you. And it's difficult because we're trained from children to trust these people. And so as soon as they say Jesus, you know, it's like all your guard is down. And they've been fleecing us with ease for generations. Just look at this. Look at this. When I did a couple of shows on WURD for a while, myself, Dr. Sabi, Tarik Bey, and others in Philadelphia, they had these leaders, so-called Negro leaders and businessmen and businesswomen in the Philadelphia general area from Wilmington to Philadelphia and all this kind of stuff. And they were talking about the so-called black hair business.
Korean.
A $9 billion a year business. And if many of you remember, they were boycotting. And they boycotted a couple of stores on 52nd Street up near Girard, blah, blah, and all that stuff. And they want a piece of the action because these Koreans and Chinese is coming in the black community, taking the black business, and blah, 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 and we ain't got nothing, you know, the whole rude thing, the race game that they ran this game. Myself and Sabir wasn't too fired up on it, though he, you know, had to do the show, so we weren't supporting it. You know, but we tell them what it is, and so they didn't like us too good, because we weren't doing the Negro let us pray thing.
Right. Right.
And the victim thing, because we already understand the politics. You know, now, but the deal, just cutting through the chase, this is what occurred. And it was mainly, although it was the Asiatic families, you know, in general, it was Koreans that did research and made the report. So they just, you know, market research, so no big deal, just look at records. So they made a report and brought back a report, and they got tired of this stuff. Because they want them to give them some money and all, you know, like extort, you're taking our shit, so give us, you know, 5, you know, that type of thing. And they said, so this is what the general report was. In the western, in the eastern part of the United States alone, we're not talking the entire, but in the eastern part, you come even from the midpoint up into Chicago, the Detroit area, down to Philadelphia, Boston, and all this, down to the south. This is their presentment, because you already know it's connotated. The black community contributes approximately $9 billion a year to churches alone, and have absolutely nothing to show for it.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
That's right. That's, yeah.
Can you repeat that?
That's right.
They contribute approximately close to $9 billion a year to churches, North America, and have absolutely nothing to show for it in the communities except high mortgages for poor people on buildings that most of them don't even build, which means most of the contractors are European corporations. And these people are in poverty. And the report was, these are international principles. Nations do business with other nations on international trade. You can do the same thing, but you all don't deal with these kind of matters. You just build churches and bars. You do what you want to do with your money, we do what we want to do with our money. And we're serving you where you won't serve yourself, at fair prices.
That's right.
That was the general report. They shut that shit down. You know, they wasn't too happy with me and Sabir because we was telling them the same thing all the time. They want us to join the black victim argument. They ain't victims. They agree to be black, so they come under Christian black codes. Why are they complaining? They have codes for such persons. And if they know Jesus, God, and Allah, they should certainly know this, because this is how things are run here. It ain't racism. This is Christian black codes. They got them in most of the corporate states. It's not hidden. They won't even read them. You know, but I'm just saying that to say this. We collectively as a people keep choosing, I would say, to be naive, but I don't totally accept that, but I'm just saying that to be modest. We're not naive, we play naive. All right. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sacrificing our babies, our families all broke up, and then we lie to the children how saved they are because we go to the mosque, church, and synagogue. We're full of shit. And people won't tell us the truth because we're hypocrites. And then as soon as they're out of a job, 3 months, they're in somebody else's country helping murder people that never did anything to them for this European, then come back here and do Negro marches because they don't have any rights. And they don't understand that that's called cause and effect. Divine law. Reap what you sow, shit. Because that's what it is.
Yep. That's wrong.
Now the deal, point that I'm making is, for those who think that we can do something better, that we can be better, and improve our communities, that's why I always say, come join the Moorish Divine National Movement and help with this great missionary work of helping to uplift all of humanity. They said, when you all get back in power, treat the European nice.
Connotative.
Translation, you weren't totally innocent. It's just that by us not knowing the history, we think that we're total victims. And then when you see us coming out of the darkness, it's like if you dig something out of the grave, it comes out of the grave. When it's put in the grave, you put dirt on it. But when it comes out of the grave, it has dirt on it too.
Yeah.
You understand? Now he said to these adepts and the elders who had this knowledge, he said, do not go to the grave with this knowledge. And then you'll see still many of them keep trying to treat this information like it's not universal. They try to treat it like it's a belief system. And it's the restoration of an estate.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cause, you know, cause, I'm trying to do prompt, all right? So, Hassan, he directed me to, page, 1703, and it's about what unity is, all right? And it says, no, come on, Hassan, you gotta read this one, I can't see this.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's done.
The book of the East is up there on that shelf to the right. When you right.
Alrighty. Islam.
Islam.
Hey. All right. Unity. One day I was studying with Brother Yusef Mutadiel. Okay, Brother Yusef Mutadiel is near the Massachusetts Republic. Long story short, we were talking about unity, and he was like, "Hey, Moore, have you ever looked up unity in Black's Law Dictionary, fourth edition?" I was like, "Yeah, but you got to keep going through stuff and reading it, and it seems different every time you read it." So I read it, and it's the first thing that it says in unity is in the law of estates. So when you're reading Black's Law Dictionary, of course, it gives you the term, right? After the term, it kind of also classifies where that term is applicable. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So it's saying unity specifically, because all law is specific, notice an intent, specifically in the law of the states. Now, before we can even really go past that, your mind must know that you cannot talk a state unless you're in your proper person. If one is speaking or speaking anything about unity not in their proper person, then what they're really doing, they're violating laws in a sense, because what they're doing, they're saying we have rights, but we're not a part of the human family. Islam?
Locked into what you just said, because, and that's why it's important to know that status in the state are equals.
Yes.
And proper person is tied to the status and the
Yes.
standing in the community with other persons, the state, etc.
Yes. Islam.
Islam.
The definition continues, or the case law rather, the stare decisis rather, continues unity in the law of the states. The peculiar characteristic of an estate held by several in joint tenancy. And now I know when we hear tenancy, I'm gonna stop right there, because usually when we hear tenancy, we may think feudal law. But it already specified in the beginning in the law of estates. So we're dealing with
Interjection.
estate. Yes, Islam.
Being Moorish Americans, you are part and parcel land, right?
Yes.
Of this government and must live the life accordingly.
Yes.
Go ahead.
To camelback along with what Brother Taj is saying, one can grasp part and parcel without arguing within oneself or one another. Look at it, part and parcel, you being tied by umbilical cord to mother.
Islam.
Because the umbilical cord is cut does not make you,
Separate.
it doesn't void you being part and parcel, whether connected to her physically or not.
Islam.
Okay? Now it says in joint tenancy, I'll start over. The peculiar characteristics of an estate held by several in joint tenancy, and which is fourfold, viz. Unity of interest. For example, there's unity of interest, there's unity of title. That one's huge. Unity of time. Chapter 1 says, what about time?
Time never was when man was not.
Islam.
How can we unify with that? Or bring unity about with that? Because what Prophet Noble Drew Ali divinely prepared, correct me if I'm wrong, to my elders, but it is an affidavit of fact.
Yes.
It has
Yes.
gone
Yes.
unrebutted.
Islam.
Yes.
Exactly.
So it stands as law.
Islam.
Okay. And unity of possession,
Yeah.
which is how much of the law?
9/10 of it.
Okay. In other words, joint tenants have one and the same interest.
Now, interjection.
Yes,
You
Islam.
must recognize your government by name and principle,
Islam.
because you have common interests.
Islam.
Failure to acknowledge or to step up to that, you've abandoned your estate.
Okay, Islam. So if one was to ask, what
First paragraph
is,
in Divine Warning.
yes, yes. So if one was to ask, what is your standing, your national name, what
Status.
is your, you must answer with the joint
Yeah.
interest.
Islam.
Answer up to the constitutional fold
Yes.
of government of which he's bringing you back into, that you have been voided of.
Yes, Islam. In other words, joint tenants have one and the same interest accruing by one and the same conveyance. That right there.
Read it again.
Ooh.
Read that one
In
again.
other words, joint tenants have one and the same interest, nationality and birth rights, accruing by one and the same, wait a one-on-one. One and the same conveyance.
Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Islam.
When you,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go sidetrack just for a quick second, make a point. When you read the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, I want you to notice there are three main things. There are ministers plenipotentiary carrying out a commission given by some entity. The same thing is outprinted here in the 805 ILCS Illinois compiled statute that Prophet Noble Drew Ali put the religious affidavit number 1010-5905. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, I think, so, yeah, 10, 10.
No.
Okay, and then, yes, document number.
10-10-5.
Yeah, 1010-5905.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the file
yeah.
number for the record, form number 1099.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? So, what I'm pointing out when it comes to unity, this is a conveyance. Okay, so one example of a conveyance, you all traveled here in what we call a car. You know what I mean? But it's a land conveyance. Okay? You're conveying a message, because you're the word, from one point to another. All right? So with that being said, accruing by one and the same conveyance, commencing means starting, at one and the same time.
Aye.
Who can change your descent nature?
Exactly. You're the heirs.
Now you go back and listen to Queen Latifah's UNITY.
Right.
It will sound totally different.
Right?
Seriously.
Good reference point, too.
Commencing at one and the same time and held by one and the same undivided possession. So there's levels in my perspective, according to my studies thus far. I do not have the end all be all, the gamut on everything. It's just that it's this far in my studies. I see that everything is held in possession when you think, okay, let's say you got people wanting to come from the dogma belief systems. So the Moorish Science Temple of America almost, in my eyes, it did exactly what chapter 1 was. It was created and it fell to a certain level in order to cater to those that couldn't reach the old Canaanite temple.
Ooh.
Because that was established 1913, though the business was going on well before that, a few years prior.
Yeah.
Okay? So, those that couldn't reach the old Canaanite temple, because when you're talking old Canaanite, that's getting back to the ancient mindset of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. But some of us are so far removed from even that point, okay, you have Moorish Holy Temple of Science.
You even have the civic part.
You know, and I'm here to be corrected, because right now I'm just giving you my perspective based on correlating. I'm not saying this is the gospel. I'm just looking at the levels in which Prophet Noble Drew Ali made it so that you're actually protected. It's just the administration of your estate disunified us. So that's why
Islam.
I see why we're here, man.
Islam.
You know what I mean?
All right, so ask some basic questions because, you know, we got to be on one accord with this.
Okay.
So
That's
some
right.
Basic questions, you know, number
Yes.
14 especially.
Okay, number 14. Does everybody have their one-on-one? Question here is, the great meeting is on. Islam, Asia, Quran question for Moorish Americans. Quran questions, yeah, I have a 102, yeah, so the 102 got some extras in there, but try to stick to it as much as possible.
Sounds more.
Oh, that's your 101?
All your stuff's up there.
Oh,
Besides
okay, well, I got a
prophecies.
102 if anybody doesn't have one, I can just hang my 102.
I don't have one.
You don't have one?
No. You said 102 or the 101?
You can pull it up online.
Are you pulled up online? Okay. Somebody,
It's on there,
oh, you wanna tell them that, I'll write it down.
We good, we good.
You got it?
Now, which number did you say? Which question you say?
14.
14?
Yeah, number 14.
Why are we Moorish American?
Oh, yeah.
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
Can we, hold on, can we? Okay. Y'all did it. You and you, Brother Delilah and Brother Taj, y'all did it. Because when watching Brother Tarik Bey a couple days ago, he was bringing up the things about letters, and it just took me back to Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Because I carried a 30-year anniversary DVD of Schoolhouse Rock on me.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
For those that know me,
Wow.
know I carry that on me. Okay? But I want you to get into the grammar of that question. Do it again, Brother Troy.
Why are we Moorish American?
So there's reasoning that must happen there. Because why is leading you to reason. If I'm wrong, correct.
That's right.
No, you're right. You're right.
Okay? Why are we Moorish Americans? Answer?
Because we are descendants of Morocco and
Born in America.
Okay. Now, I will say, due to a little other studies in analyzing the word Moroccan, I want to stay right there because it says we are, because there go that word because, and Brother Hannibal brought up, because we are descendants of, pertaining to. When you look up the word of, you get from, away from. You check out the etymology, off, to descend from, or pertaining to. So sometimes when you see that word of, find some synonyms. You know what I mean?
Islam, that's what I do.
That will
Yeah.
historically, if that's a word, be able to allow you and assist you in replacing
And put it in its proper matrix.
some words for others. All
Yeah.
right.
Well, comprehend it.
All right, so here we go. Moroccans, we know that from the word Moroccan, who can tell me, we know that Moroccan is derived from?
Morocco.
What is our bloodline though? What's our pedigree?
Moabite.
Exactly.
And that's Ruth the Moabite. That's the next question you need to ask.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like in the questions, there's layered study that you can get
Exactly.
with linguistics that you get. It's like 7, yes, it is reference points, and it's 7. You can practice your 7 liberal arts with this one. Because you're doing grammar, rhetoric, and it's escaping me. Logic. Grammar, rhetoric, and logic
Math
is trivial.
too. Math. Seven.
Well, that's the quadrivium. When you have arithmetic, music, astronomy, and
Not.
geometry.
Yeah, geometry.
Okay, that's the quadrivium.
Yes.
So when you think about just when he says why are we Moorish Americans, like that right there is linguistic. That's jurisdictional. So you're getting trained in how to
Islam.
intake and approach.
Critique.
Yes, because okay, if I ask you a question, right? All right, Brother Troy,
yeah.
license and registration.
Who are you?
License and registration.
That's a statement, not a question.
See, that's perfect. Do you see how? Because
That's right.
what is happening is how we are allowing that spell to be cast because it's a certain energy. So you're going that, or you're going. License and registration. Okay, stop signs and green lights. Your turn.
Okay.
I guess mainly traffic things. Do you know what I mean? Now, if I ask you, what is your name? Do you have a license and registration? Now, what should your response be? Here's a hint.
My appellation is.
Good one.
That's out the gate.
Now, don't come in with that name.
You've already contracted. I'm just saying why in concept.
I see.
Because
Because I gave him right to my mind.
Right.
Come on, you already know this one.
I see where you're going, brother.
So what is the actual response? If I'm asking you a question, what am I?
I would flip it and ask you a question.
No, you would ask, do you have a warrant for that search of my
Oh,
mind?
for the search of my mind.
I'm being facetious, but if you keep that as a concept, these people cannot contract with you. In the Divine Warning video with Brother Taj and Brother Abdullah, Brother Abdullah actually brought up, he was saying he was talking with a brother, brother said he was into metaphysics, he did not care about the law. You see what I'm saying? He's like, brother, if me and you were talking, I allow you into my aura, you allow me into your aura, that's a contract. I got that one just off of the fact, like, yeah, that's why people be like, yo, give me 3 feet. Did not Brother Tarik Bey say on Friday, con, with, together, sin, you know, that's why I am, together, tract, land. Yes. We're part and parcel
Right.
to the land.
Right.
Right? We got fire, fire, head, heart, hips.
Right.
Earth,
Right.
neck, intestines, nervous system, kneecap, skeleton. So there's the earth right there. Air, your lungs, your arms, shoulders, kidneys, brains, lower legs, Brother Taj, mother block. That's air. Water. Yeah, that's the Pisces, your heart and breast and stomach. I mean, your breast and stomach, my apologies. Breast and stomach is your cancer.
Yeah.
You got the your degenerative organs like, you know, excreting, urinating, and then reproductive and regenerating organs. Okay? So you see all these elements. You see what I'm saying? You are the land. But
Islam.
Drew Ali, he could, if he told you, if half hasn't been told, if I told you everything, you go back to sleep. Imagine he come out and go, come here to choose about your nationality and birth rights, you're the land. That's what he said. But actually, you're a part and parcel, so part is like you right, there's the unity.
It is.
Of the land.
There's the unity. So we already are in a contract divinely, but not one to be run in a way on us that now they're trying to taste our life's energy. The word is okay.
Tax.
There you
Adam
go.
online.
There you go.
Let's have some fun. Let's go on our phones. Just real quick, just to have some fun for those that want to. AdamOnline.com. If you go to
What's that? What's that?
All right, then.
Etymology online.
Oh, etymology online.
ETYMONLINE.com. And then I'll tie all this into unity so this doesn't seem like I'm psycho babbling and I'll get off my soapbox and yield the floor. All right. You go to EdamOnline.com. Okay. Type in the word tax. And then somebody read it. We're going to look up two words. We're going to look up the word tax. And I know this is not an exhaustive resource. Okay? It's just online. It's something quick. But what I've noticed in these last 3, almost 4 years at the end of this year, our people will do this all day. Yeah, man, I studied that. Yeah, I studied.
Yes.
Cool, man. What's your appellation? Moorish American? No, I said what's your appellation? Oh, okay. I domicile near. You know what I mean? So who's got tax on AdamOnline.com?
I'm still
You gotta click the red link to make sure you actually
that's
click
right.
the red letter, or letters TAX, so it's not just in the list that it generates. So you click on the word
Yeah.
Islam, brother.
Tax in the noun form.
Yes, that's the way you read it. Yes, so you gave us the word, you gave us its mother, which Brother Taj goes in on in just about any video you can look up. So you gave us its mother, so it's a what you say?
Now,
Okay.
early 14th century.
Stop. Early 14th century. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Right there already. Mathematics, time machine. Books are time machines. I think so.
Yep.
Because you can actually feel the climate of what they was going through back then. Okay? Continue.
Obligatory contribution levied by.
Stop! Did Brother Taj not do a AA 222141 lecture maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago? What's that old word you said?
Obligatory.
And you are what, Moors?
Non-obligatory.
Oh, Okay, continue.
Contribution levied by a sovereign or government. From Anglo-French tax.
Time out.
Yeah, I know you had. Don't let that one slide by. You got them wrong. Don't let that one slide by.
Read that part again.
Levied by a sovereign or government.
By whom?
A sovereign or government.
Okay, now if I'm wrong, correct me. The Institutes of American Law, if I'm not mistaken, it says society starts with family, so does government. Okay? So where do families come from? It's not a rhetorical question. Come on.
Mother.
That's right.
It says sovereign or government, right?
which both is dealing with family. Government starts with family.
Well, let's say posterity and progenitor. But actually, family's not bad either. To get to what Brother Kamitu had taught on Friday, talking about servants and slaves. Yeah, Prophet Noble Ali has said the servant's worthy of his hire.
Right.
Fire, neutral energy, like
Right.
Brother just said in the Sonetta video with Moors and Hebrew Israelites. Are they the same?
Mm-hmm.
I can burn your house.
Mhm.
I can heat your home and cook
Heat your home,
It's
yeah.
all in how you use it.
Yep.
So we can say family if we're using it in the sense that
In a sense,
it's
right,
worthy
right,
of service.
right. We qualify it.
You know, we're not
Yeah,
connotated.
yeah, right, right.
That's your choice.
Thanks,
You
thanks
know,
for clearing that up,
that's your
because people
personal
will
right,
think
not
that
mine,
too.
but
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Speech and press. But what we're also talking about in unity, when you talk about the first bill of rights, we're also talking about your right to contract, which is in the right to peaceably assemble. But go ahead
Right.
and continue.
From Anglo-French tax, Old French taxe.
You know how you can check that too while you're looking for that? If you go to the bottom of Edom Online, whoever's following along with them, at the bottom of Edom Online, they have what Brother Taj has referred to in other books as the appendix, if I'm not mistaken. They call it introductions and abbreviations. Whenever they mention a language, you can go to the bottom of the page. It's one of those itty bitty fine print links that almost blend in with the color that it's, background that it's on.
Yeah,
and
I'm
when
still
you click on
looking for it. Where's that?
introduction and go and look up Old French. Go and look up Old English. When you go and look up Old English,
all right.
that's my favorite one. 'Cause y'all know how I do with the word black and with the word God. They're both Old English. Old English wasn't attested into language until about circa 450 and 1100. Let's do some basic mathematics. 2018, right? Let's just kick the 18 off and just take it down to 20. 450, right? Let's round 450 up to 500. Somebody subtract 500 from 2000.
1800.
Is that an ancient time ago?
Absolutely not.
So how can you take, and this is what Brother Todd is saying, is a violation in law.
Right.
How can you take a contemporary term that's 1,500 years ago and then try to speak about the age of Scorpio, talking about the ancient gods of Egypt? God wasn't a term attested at that time.
Sure enough, what?
That's a violation in law. That's when Brother Todd said when you read things, analyze their language. When you analyze the language, culture, that's how you'll actually develop the unity even further. Because once you know, based on the etymon, what something is and what something isn't, it's nothing to come to House of Real Wicked and Minds did it when Brother Todd say something that may be like, yeah, man. USC. 18. 241. Yeah. That's what he doing to you. That's you. And this is all he said. It was that short. But you already know, based off of running this stuff over in your mind, you don't have to have something so much, being said, so to speak. But here we go. Continue, Brother Avatar.
Medieval Latin taxation. From Latin taxare.
Taxare. Latin is very important. I love Latin. Go ahead. Taxare, which means to what?
Pose tax on the person.
Okay. Is there a word that assess came up in other words like that?
All right.
Okay. Taxare, right? I want you to do now, go hit the back button in your browser. We want to keep the word taxare in our mind. T-A-X-A-R-E, and then I'm going to round this up in about 10 minutes, and I promise I'll round it up in 10 minutes. Taste. Now look up the word taste. T-A-S-T-E.
I got it.
I'm listening.
As a taste, a noun, early 14th century.
Hold on. Hold up. You telling me they both got that out in the same year? Tax and taste, son, hitting the stores, 1400.
Quote unquote active tasting from Old French taste, T-A-S-T, quote, sense of touch, end quote. Modern French tact, or tact, from taster, see, taste, verb, late 14th century, as a quote, small portion given, end quote. Also, quote, faculty or sense by which the flavor of a thing is discerned, end quote. Also, quote, savor, sapidity, flavor, period, end quote. Meaning aesthetic judgment, faculty of discerning and appreciating what is excellent, is first attested 1670s. Compare French gout, G-O-U-T, French geschmack, Russian vekas, etc. All the 5 senses, taste is the one most closely associated with buying discrimination, hence the familiar secondary use of words for, quote, taste, good taste, with reference to aesthetic appreciation, period, and then buck is in brackets. Taste is active, deciding, choosing, changing, arranging, etc. Sensibility is passive, power to feel, susceptibility of impression as from beautiful, in brackets, Century Dictionary. Taste is a verb, circa 1300, quote unquote, to touch, to handle, from Old French tester, to, quote, taste, sample by mouth, enjoy, parentheses, 13th century, earlier, to feel, touch, pat, stroke, 12th century modern French teter, from vulgar Latin testar.
Is that T-A-X-A-R-E?
T-A-S-T-A-R-E, testari.
Okay, so now that's vulgar Latin. Okay, continue.
Apparently an alteration, perhaps by influence of guster or taxer.
Which is T-A-X-A-R-E.
T-A-X-T-A-R-E.
Okay.
A frequentative form of Latin taxer.
Is that the T-A-X-A-R-E?
A-R-E.
See, right there. That's where I want you to stop, right there. All right? Now, let's bring this full circle. Unity. 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 In the law of the states, unity. Unity. All right? Here we go. Brother Troy, I come to your house, man, you got an apple tree in the backyard. I go, hey, man, there's some apples. Hey, some apples. You go, yeah, man, go ahead, son, get yourself some apples. You know, can I use, I want to make a pie, man, so can I use your flour, butter, sugar, you know what I'm saying, cinnamon, all that stuff. You know, can I use it? You know, and you go, man, sure, right ahead. Use that aluminum pan too, man. Use that gas and electric too to bake it. Right? And then you go, son, man, that's smelling so good. I'm like, yeah, man, we'll cut you a slice. You're like, you want to cut me a slice? Like, yeah, of course. And I go, that's $5.99 plus tax. That's $5.99 plus tax. Right? Right? $5.99 plus tax, right? What's the problem here?
That you have the audacity and the unmitigated goal.
That's the point, keep going.
Take my stuff.
That's the right attitude.
A portion of all what you do.
Charge you twice.
And then
Exactly. Twice. Double.
Usury. For those that know a little bit of Brother Cujo Aguilo's music, there's a quote in one of his lyrics that says, it's vampiric, but some can't hear it.
That's right. That's
It's loud. They sure do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I told you it's $5.99 plus.
Taste.
plus taste.
Plus taste.
That's right.
But
What are you doing?
let me show you what Brother Taj is talking about when you're coming up out the dirt, you're not completely innocent. Now it's a matter of perspective. Check this out. Let's pay attention to my behavior before we got to me taxing you. Let's get to
That's right.
how at first, before taxing you, I taxed the planet. Because I made an assessment due to a hunger. You know, something in my lower self that wanted, and you know, I wanted the right words to be.
Interesting.
There you go. To replenish me, right? So, what's the funny thing is, I'm not as smart as my mother. Because my mother already knew that as soon as I go and reach for that apple, right? That's the assessment.
On the fuck.